36 teams, 2 countries. 1 trophy that's literally 2 trophies welded together. That's Leagues Cup 2026, and the official rules page reads like a tax form. Here's why you should care anyway. This tournament hands out a fast pass to the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and for the first time ever, games are being played inside Mexico. By the end of this video, you'll understand the whole format better than half of soccer Twitter. Stick around for the point system specifically. Losing on purpose can actually help you. Yeah, weird. We'll get there. Section 1. What is this tournament actually? Okay, basics first. Leagues Cup is a competition between MLS, that's Major League Soccer in the US and Canada, and Liga MX, Mexico's top league. In theory, it's simple. Take teams from both leagues, make them play each other, see who's better. In practice, the 2 leagues had to invent an entirely new format to make that happen fairly, because MLS and Liga MX don't run on the same calendar, don't have the same number of teams, and honestly, don't even structure their seasons the same way. This is the 4th year of the modern version, and every year it gets a little more ambitious. This year's twist? Games in Mexico. Real ones, at real stadiums, against real Liga MX giants. We're talking Estadio Azteca. That's not a preseason friendly venue. That's the big stage. Section 2. Who's actually playing? 36 clubs total. All 18 Liga MX teams get in automatically. Every single one. MLS only sends 18. Not all 29 plus teams in the league. Just the top 9 from the Eastern Conference and the top 9 from the Western Conference, based on last year's MLS Cup playoffs. So if your MLS team didn't perform well enough in the regular season last year, they're not even in this tournament. That alone should tell you Leagues Cup isn't some throwaway summer exhibition anymore. It's earned. You know the type of tournament that used to feel like a preseason scrimmage with a trophy attached? This isn't that anymore. This has teeth, and honestly, that's the right call. Nobody wants a champion that got there by beating a team that was already thinking about vacation. Section 3. The regions. Here's where it gets interesting. This is where most explainer videos lose people, so slow down with me. The 36 teams get split into 2 big regions, Eastern and Western. 18 teams in each region. Within each region, teams get sorted into 3 tiers based on how good they were ranked in 2025. Think of it like seeding in a bracket, except instead of one bracket, you're building a bunch of small groups. Then, from each region, 6 mini groups of 6 teams get created. 1 team from each tier, 1 team from each league mixed together. This sounds complicated. It kind of is. But here's the simple version. You get put in a pod. Your pod has some MLS teams and some Liga MX teams. And you already know something important about that pod before a ball is even kicked. Section 4. The games you'll actually watch. Here's the part that makes Leagues Cup genuinely different from almost every other tournament on Earth. You will never play a team from your own league during this group stage, ever. MLS teams only play Liga MX teams. Liga MX teams only play MLS teams. No MLS versus MLS. No Liga MX versus Liga MX. Each team plays exactly 3 matches, all against opposite league opponents from their group. Think about why that matters. Normally in a group stage, you might get an easy game against a team from your own league that you already know inside and out. Not here. Every single match is a cross-border, unfamiliar style clash. Different tactics, different rhythms, different everything. That's honestly the whole appeal of this tournament. It's not MLS playing itself. It's a genuine culture clash. 3 times per team, guaranteed. Basically, it's like showing up to your own family reunion and finding out you're actually playing kickball against the neighbors instead. Same backyard, completely different vibe. Section 5. How points actually work. This sounds simple. It isn't. Normal soccer, you know the drill. Win equals 3 points. Draw equals 1. Loss equals 0. Leagues Cup doesn't have draws at all. If regulation ends tied, you go straight to penalty kicks. No extra time, straight to the shootout. And that's where the scoring gets interesting. Win in regulation, you get 3 points. Win in a shootout after a tie, you only get 2 points. And here's the part that trips people up. Lose in a shootout after a tie, you still get 1 point. Lose straight up in regulation, you get 0. So there's actually a small incentive to make a tied game go to penalties instead of just losing outright. 1 point from a shootout loss is better than nothing. It's a subtle detail, but it shapes how coaches manage late-game situations. My honest reaction here, this scoring system rewards competitiveness. Even in a loss, if you drag the other team to penalties, the format says, hey, that still counts for something. I actually like that. Section 6. The tiebreakers. Yes, this matters. Say 2 teams end up tied on points after their 3 group games, which happens constantly with small groups like this. Here's the order they use to break the tie. First, who has more wins in regular time, not shootouts. Then, goal difference. Then, total goals scored. Then, fewest fewest goals conceded. Then something called the fair play table, which basically tracks yellow and red cards. And if somehow it's still tied after all that, they literally do a draw to decide it. This sounds like a lot, and it is, but the takeaway is simple. Winning ugly on penalties is worth less than winning clean. The format is quietly nudging every team toward playing to win in 90 minutes, not just surviving to a shootout. Basically, the tiebreakers are the tournament's way of saying, prove it one more time, just in case the points weren't already dramatic enough. Section 7. Who actually advances after the group stage? The top 4 teams from the MLS side of the standings and the top 4 teams from the Liga MX side move on. 8 teams total advance to the knockout rounds. From here on, it's win or go home. Single elimination. No extra time. Straight to penalties if it's tied. The quarterfinal matchups are fixed by rank, so the best-ranked team on one side faces the lowest-ranked qualifier from the other side. Classic bracket seeding logic. MLS versus Liga MX guaranteed all the way through the quarterfinals. After that, it opens up into semifinals, then the final and a third-place match, both happening around the same time in early September. No draws, no extra time, no mercy. Basically, the tournament format equivalent of a sudden death dance-off. Section 8. Why any of this actually matters. Here's the payoff for all of this. The top 3 teams, meaning the champion, the runner-up, and whoever wins third place, all qualify for the 2027 CONCACAF Champions Cup. And the actual champion doesn't have to grind through early rounds. They go straight into the round of 16. Why does that matter? Because the CONCACAF Champions Cup is basically the doorway to the FIFA Club World Cup. Win that path, and suddenly your club is playing on a global stage against teams from Europe and South America. So this isn't just bragging rights between 2 leagues anymore. It's a genuine path to something much bigger. That's why the top clubs actually care about winning this thing now. Ending. So let's bring it back to where we started. 36 teams, 2 leagues, and a trophy that's literally built from 2 separate bowls. That's the visual, honestly, for the whole tournament. 2 different soccer cultures, forced to share one stage. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this one sentence. Leagues Cup 2026 is built entirely around forcing MLS and Liga MX to play each other, using a group stage with no draws, a scoring system that rewards clean wins over shootouts, and a knockout bracket that funnels the best teams straight toward CONCACAF glory. Here's my prediction. With games now being played inside Mexico for the first time, expect Liga MX crowds to bring an atmosphere MLS teams have honestly never experienced on the road. That could shift results in ways the rankings didn't predict. So, do you think an MLS team can go into Estadio Azteca and actually win? Drop your prediction below. And if this video actually made the format click for you, that's exactly what this channel is for. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.